Good afternoon. Welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Gail Golman Holtzman and I am a partner at Taylor English. I'm focusing my practice on labor and employment law. I have been practicing in this area for more than 35 years, and I've had the privilege of representing employers in all aspects of labor and employment law, as well as serving as a neutral, conducting investigations and serving as a Florida Supreme Court Civil Circuit mediator. And today I'd like to talk about another topic dominating the workforce, and that is the issue of helping to retain women in the workforce. Joining me today is my partner at Taylor English, Robbin Wilder, and I'm delighted to be on the program with you, Robbin. So if you'd like to introduce yourself at this time.
Well, thank you, Gail. I'm excited and delighted to be here with you as well. My name is Robbin Wilder. I'm an associate here at Taylor English in the Labor and Employment Group. I have been practicing the law for about 3 years. Prior to that, I worked more than 15 years with some high volume human resources in large corporations, different industries. I've supported across all things HR, talent management, employee relations, payroll, things of that nature, to what we're talking about today, the equality in the workplace for women.
Great. Thank you, Robbin. And my first question for you is, there has been a study about women leaving the workforce in record numbers, particularly fueled, of course, by the pandemic. Are there policies that companies can adopt to support women in the workplace? And if so, what can you describe to us what those policies are and what provisions should be included?
Employers can look at what their individual employees need as an individual and collectively as a group. What we often see when it comes to women is that you have solo and single parenting. You have mothers who are partnering. That group of women may need flexibility as it relates to childcare, as well as care for themselves and care for their partners. You also have single working women who also need flexibility for themselves because they have life issues that come up. And as a solo person, single employee, they have needs to take care of themselves for mental health days, for any type of vacation, or even supporting people in their lives with their childcare needs.
With these policies you're talking about that would be gender neutral, that would be available to everyone, would these be for remote policies or hybrid policies? Can you describe a little bit about some of the trends you're seeing post-COVID regarding changes to the workforce?
So when it comes to flexibility for those different types for remote workers and hybrid workers, if you're looking at a flexibility policy, there may be flexibility with any type of paid time off or any type of vacation time that is used. If you're in a hybrid environment, so if you're working in the traditional office space and you're working outside of the office space, you have the flexibility to be able to say, when you're not in the office space, these are the days, these are the times that I will not be working. These are the times that I need to take care of anything outside of my assigned job duties. As a remote employee, same thing applies when that person is not in the traditional office space. So if you have employees who need flexibility, maybe they're working a little bit later. So instead of the traditional 9 to 5, that person may be working a set schedule that allows them to ensure that their childcare, their children are in school at that time, since we are at the point now where kids are going back to school. So we have their kids, they are able to get their kids to school, they're able to get back home to be able to complete any work assignments. There's also the time to be able to pick up kids in the middle of the afternoon. That flexibility could be something that is incorporated in a policy for those employees who are remote, as well as those who are hybrid.
What are the benefits to the employer of a hybrid or remote workforce based on the considerations you've discussed?
Definitely. A lot of the things that we've seen since the start of the pandemic, when people left the traditional office space, is that employees have been productive and employers have not lost out on that working time. They may not see their employee in the office space at the traditional 9 to 5 office hours or whatever those office hours are. However, they know based on numbers, based on productivity, based on what their employees are producing, the work is being done and the person is happy to do that work.
Do you think it's a good idea to include training on the remote or hybrid workplace as well?
I most certainly do think that is a great idea, because with the policy that is out there, if you're putting the policy out there and you're setting the expectation, you're able to say to the employee, this is what we'd like for this to look like. This is how we'd like for it to look. If you're not able to meet expectations as they are laid out or enumerated, let us know what you can meet, or let us know what you cannot meet. That way we can say, we've set it out in the beginning. We've started out to say, this is what we'd like. You've told us what you can and cannot, or what you may or may not be able to do. And as the employer, we'd be able to provide you with some assistance to ensure that the needs are being met. So not only the needs of the employer, the needs of the employee, and the needs of the client.
And Robbin, let me ask you, with the remote hybrid work model, there's less socialization among employees. There's probably less collaboration, visibility. What do you advise regarding kind of keeping the workforce working together, people feeling like they're part of the same team or company, and having some level of team spirit or morale? Are there things that the employer can do?
Right. Community is very important. We're people, we're a social group. So community is important. One of the things that we could look at is having neighborhoods. We could look at, we've gotten to a point where social meetings are the norm. So that could be something where allowing employees to be able to say, this is what I would like, this is how I would like for it to look, and have that employer say, okay, let's chime in.
Let me ask you, Robbin, from your experience, what have you observed regarding the remote hybrid models? Or do you think they're working overall?
I think they are working overall. Employers are looking at it, they are monitoring. So it's changed from how we started. So when we started, we had multiple virtual meetings. And as time has moved on, managers, employers, employees have gotten much more comfortable in working outside of the team. So virtual meetings may not have happened as often. However, employers see that the employees are productive, they are working. The relationship with that has eased a bit. However, I do think, again, coming back to what we talked about, it adds to the community to see your teammates so often, whatever that looks like for that employer, whatever that looks like for that employee. So it's a great opportunity to catch up, to have the personal meetings, to have a lunch meeting, but to be able to see people and talk with them outside of a computer screen.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Robbin, for sharing your perspective, your experiences. It's been very enlightening, and so pleased to be able to work with you. And I'm so glad you're a part of Taylor English. And thank you all for watching Conversations with Ted. We hope you'll join us next time. I'm Gail Golman Holtzman, and again with Robbin Wilder, and we thank you for your time.